Hello again, students. I hope you are good. Allow me to continue explaining about objects in a document. We have explained about equations, pictures, symbols, and all that. Now let us continue with the tables. A table also is another object that can be inserted in a document. So let's first of all explain what is a table. In few words, we say a table is a set of rows and columns. A set will be a set of rows and columns. Columns are vertical lines while rows are horizontal lines. A table is used in many fields where one can organize his data, where one can classify his items. In classification, in organization, you can make files organized in a tabular form using a table. You can make a list and you organize it in a table. Okay, so now let us read a bit. A table is a feature that is used to present information in an organized layout. It consists of rows and columns intersecting to form cells where data is entered and manipulated. Remember that a cell will be an intersection between a row and a column. Many cells make a range of horizontal cells makes a row, while a range of cells in a vertical line make a column. Now, we have three ways of inserting a table. First method, we can use the graphic grid. Second, we can use insert table feature. And the third, we can have draw table tools. These are three ways used in order to insert a table in a document. Starting by the first method of using the graphic grid, we have here the steps. Step 1 is to position the insertion point where the table will be. Second is to click on insert, and the third, we click on table command on the menu bar, and then after we use we choose the desired number of rows and columns in the grid. You have a grid which will be displayed. First, we position the cursor, the table. Let us put the table here. The cursor will be here. Then we want to insert the table here. So click number 2, click on insert. Number 3, click the table command. We have table command. Clicking on the table command, we have the grid. The grid here, when you highlight grid according to the number of rows and the column you want, the grid, the table will be highlighted. Let me start again. I see here it is now, it jumps. We have here a grid. When you choose, for example, I'm choosing 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Here you see that a table here is inserted. This is table 1. We insert this. We call this. We call table 1. We call it. We name using table. Now is using a graphic grid. We use graphic grid. This is the first method of creating a table using graphic grid. Not here graphic grid. Here is the graphic grid, using the graphic grid. So after inserting this table, you see this table is made of 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. This table has 4 columns, while it has 1, 2, 3, 4 again. It has 4 rows and 4 columns. This is a table which is created using the graphic grid. Let's use another method of creating a table using now the insert table method. When we use insert table method, we will be asked to choose the number of rows and the column. First of all, we position the cursor where the table will be inserted, and then we click on insert. Clicking on insert, then number 3, we click on table command. Here we are not going to choose in the table grid by highlighting the number of rows and the columns we wish, but here we are going to click here on insert table. We click on insert table. After clicking on insert table, a notion here, look here, a notion which is displayed with the default number of columns 5 and default number of rows 2. Here we have to edit. We choose the number of rows and the columns we want. Let us choose, for example, 10 columns. We want here also how many rows? For example, 10 rows. If we want 10 rows, we can choose if we can auto-fit to content or if we can auto-fit to window. It depends on what you want. If you auto-fit on content, it will fit on content, or on window, it you can fit in a window. We can remember dimensions for new tables. Yes. Now after all, we click OK. When you click OK, you see that the table will be inserted. How many now? Rows and how many columns? If you observe very well, you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have now here 10 columns. Here also you can count how many rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, no. Let's say here 3. No, here let us continue in a vertical way. Here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, also 10. You have 10. This is 4. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see, this is a table also which is created. Method number 3 is to use the drawing table tools. When you use the table tools, here we take a pencil, then we can now draw a table using the draw table tools. The syntax seems like the one in the previous steps, but here the difference is a pencil to draw. We click on insert, then we come here, then we use draw table. We have draw table. When you have draw table, the cursor here changes into a pencil. If I can delete this, is created in the wrong way. Let me now draw a table. We can now draw a table. But here, if I want to draw a table, look here, I draw the first row, I can draw the second row, I can draw the second row. You see the second row. I can draw the third row, can draw the third row, the fourth row, can draw the fourth row. Yes. How many rows do I have? I have 4 rows. I can now draw the columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and column 5. Here, when you double click, the cursor has changed. We can adjust now the table so that it becomes a good table as expected. Here we are using now the draw table tools. Here we are using the table tools. Yeah, here you see we have created this table. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. We have also 1, 2, Let us say I can continue here to can adjust. Yes, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4 columns. You see, when you draw, you can apply any formatting options to every table. Now, everyone is able now to create a table according to the number of rows and columns he wishes. But we need to every table to apply some formatting. If you format a table, let us see here formatting a table. When a table is created, the table tools is added on the menu bar together with design and layout tab. Example, when I highlight this table, you see here I have design and the layout tab on the menu bar. On where there is many tabs, exactly if you don't select the table, the design and layout tab are not appearing. They appear when we highlight a table. Here we can now, after highlighting a table, it is possible to add new columns, and it is possible to add new column, or you can delete any column or any row. So let us first see any table that we can format. Let us see this table 1. The table 1, if I highlight it, I can now click on layout. I want to add a column here. If you want to, we want to add a column here, we position the cursor here. Position the cursor where the table is to be, where the column is to be inserted. Here, let us read together. Place the cursor in any cell within the row to precede or succeed one. On the layout tab from the menu bar, we can now click the row below or the column left or right. So if we want here to add a column here. If you want to add the column here, click on layout tab. We will find where there is insert below or insert above. Insert above. These are rows and columns. When you talk about insert left, these are columns. Insert right, these are, for example, because here I want to insert a column at the left side, I can click on insert. You see I have a new column now which is inserted. I can call this column A, the column A. I want also to insert a new row here under 10. We click on layout, then we insert below. When you talk about insert below, we have also here another row number B. Let us number 11. Can I call 11? No, we call, for example, 0, row 0. You see, we will remark that a table is created and one is able to add new column. As you see it here, let me, for example, add we can now add some border. I can add some border here. Okay, the border should be in this red. This is a column which is created. You see, this column is created. Also, this row is created in this way. You have seen this. It is different from other rows and the other columns here. You see, you can insert a row or we can insert a column. Let us again try to change the design. We can change the design of the table. For example, this table, if I wanted to change its design, I can highlight it. When you highlight a table, we can change its design. We have layout, we can change the row height and width, and the column width and the row height we can see. But I want that everyone would be able to know how to change the design of the table. Click here. We can, for example, choose this design. When you choose the design here, you see the table has become somehow beautiful, more beautiful than it was. This is the design that you can choose. Let me also go to another second table. I can highlight it. When you highlight the table on design, you can choose any kind of design you need. The designs have various names. If you want to choose this design is called Grid Table 5 Dark Accent 6. You have to choose. If you are asked in an examination or in any test, you can have any certificate test, they request you to use any sample of design table, you will be able to know where to find it. Let me, for example, here I can choose this design table called Grid Table 3 Accent 5. Accent 5, it's now right. We can continue by designing this table. After designing, you will be able to continue with the other formatting of the table. So I think everyone has seen that a table can be designed. Let us also design for the first table. When you highlight it, you can highlight the table. After highlighting, you can choose any other design. You can change the color, you can change the borders of the table, and so on. Here, I think everyone has seen how we can insert table, how we can format it, how we can now apply various edits on table. So I thank you very much. We will meet again next time by other sessions of how we can insert other examples of object. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching.